can't see the back of my own head right now, but with casting on I would be able to. I can't film and transmit between these two devices at the same time. I've just ordered a suction cup thing to put onto my head. I am strongly considering shaving all of this off and getting a full topper. Really, I really am. Because when I look at the back, which goes up, I could shave all that. But before I move on doing stuff like that, I have to be able to see the back of my own head. So I've been investigating. There's no way to mirror the iPhone to the iPad, which is fucking crazy. Isn't that what the whole thing's for? It doesn't work. You need to download AirDroid Cast, and you need to get a suction cup mirror holder, which is what I've just ordered off Amazon. I'll send you the link, and I'll start considering buying full hair pieces, like full ones, instead of doing this front bullshit. Because look, it's bad lighting in here, but how do I light this room up here? Right, this is just ridiculous. I want my sides to be short, and there's no way to do that while making this fit as it is, because the top gonna have to be short as well. Back sides short equals I need a full fucking topper. There's no way around it. I could try to just go to about there, but then I've got this real recession here. So I might as well shave all that out. And one of the big problems has been, I don't know how to do it. Like, I don't know how to see the back of my own head. I thought about the microphone stand and building a 3D printed attachment that I would create to click onto it, so a mirror or something could work. But I realized, and then I thought, coming down from the ceiling, I could put a camera that swings around your head. Then I realized, when you look in the mirror, when you're looking down at the iPad, you probably wouldn't want to use a laptop for this unless it's folded in half, but then you get the keyboard all on the wet sink. An iPad's the best. So you have the iPad or a Windows Surface or another type of tablet or a screen of some sort. But the thing is, phones and tablets communicate directly. There is a small lag though. So if I were to get a razor and shave, I would place the razor, wait for it to appear on the screen 1 second later, which is 1,000 milliseconds. That's a fairly long time. Like, if I moved my hand like that and then it took that long to fucking happen, that would be kind of crazy. But that's what is going to have to happen using this Wi-Fi technology. So you connect your phone to Wi-Fi, you connect your tablet to Wi-Fi, and then they speak to each other through AirDroid Cast if you're using an iPhone. I don't know what happens with an Android phone. I assume something similar. And then in that case, you would need a tablet. So if you have a phone and a tablet, this will be a way to do it. It's not as fast as a mirror, but everything's illuminated. The phone actually has built-in technology to maximize brightness in low light situations. And in the situation of me being in my actual bathroom, not in this place where I'm staying at the moment, but in my actual bathroom, I do have a big light across the top. So if this thing was suction cupped to a mirror with a suction cup holder, and then it had the ability to tilt downwards towards the top of my head, I just have to lean forwards over the sink, look down at my iPad, and see the back of my own head. And then I'll be able to see what I'm doing. And this this thing that I'm just buying off Amazon, should enable me to fully see what I'm doing. And I might be fully graduating, spending more money, but getting it done properly and finally having a full head of hair rather than just a front partial, which means I'll probably get more viewers. But more importantly, I won't look like I've just got a weird chunk at the front of my head. And now that I'm going grey on the sides and everything else, I'm not willing to dye it all the time. And the best way to look okay with greys sticking out the side of your head is to be a bit shorter, because the longer it goes, the wirier it gets. and I can't see myself being able to do that. If you've got straight grey hair, it probably doesn't matter, but I've got curly grey hair, so it's not just curly anymore or wavy, it's like grey pubes coming out the sides of my head, and they just bush out really badly. So I want to avoid that, and the best way to avoid that is short back and sides. Not this short probably, because no matter what I do with the hairpiece, this is not going to sort of match up. It could look like young people's hairstyles these days, but I'd probably grow it, you know, maybe up to 1 centimeter. Keep the sideburns short so that my face is contoured into the hair rather than just, you know, sticky outy sideburns. But yeah, this bloody thing, this Pixel 8 Pro is a piece of shit. So I am going to take it in for a refund today. And I've just come from the gym. I've joined a 24-hour gym, so I went there at about 1 o'clock in the morning. There were a couple of other guys there. But yeah, that fucking phone, the Pixel 8 Pro Android operating system, I got the thought into my head that X-Tree Gold and Windows and things like that with folders and files and easy to use, you know, management of my own film footage and all the other things that I do on my phone would be easy to manage on an Android. And Siri was pissing me off, and I thought, well, Google must be much better, but it wasn't. There's no facial recognition that works on that machine. I use my thumbprint. It just, I've got to find workarounds for everything. The customization of the home screen is just nonsense because iPhone does everything better. I bought a whole bunch of apps to go with that phone to try to compensate for its shortcomings, but it was just too much. And then I type something on Facebook, a response to a comment, and then I go, oh, I'd delete something. And as soon as you delete, you're now editing or whatever, and now the screen is covering, there are pop-ups all over the place that are covering over and blocking the text box, and it's just an absolute mess. It's not ready. It's about 20 years behind Apple. Everything's made out of cheap plastic and aluminium. And just listen to the volume control buttons. It's just cheap fucking plastic. And then and so as I'm holding this thing, that's where I would want the volume controls to be, but they're not. They're on this side. I can't even reach. It's such a massive fucking phone. And then the volume, and then the power button is right next to the. It's an awkward fucking thing. The great thing about this one was the camera. So in terms of the front-facing camera, what I was able to do is turn this around, and you see how that's illuminated. So now I can see exactly where the lens is, so I can look exactly in there, and I would be looking straight down the barrel, and it's not a problem. So that was the reason I loved this phone, but that's the only thing it's got going for it. Other than that, I'm going to stick with the iPhone 11. If I go and get a refund on that other phone, the Pixel 8 Pro, I will potentially go and use that money to get an iPhone 15. But to be honest, I look at these new phones and I think they're fucking massive. The iPhone 11 does kind of most things that I want. Siri's a bunch of shit, and the file folder management in iPhone is shit. But Android is not a solution. It's nothing like a folder and file structured system at all. It's just worse than Apple even. So what a cunt. I'm stuck in the ancient past, and this is what we've got to deal with. So I don't know who's managing all these companies, but they don't know what they're doing, and we're just stuck with it. And you go onto forums of people going, please help us, what's wrong with this? Why has somebody decided to do things this way? And there's never any change. It just stays the same, and the people who run these companies just like fucking having showers in cash and just living it up in the Bahamas. They don't give a fuck. So I just stuck with this. But I'd rather be stuck with this iPhone than that Pixel 8 Pro. I'm on the dunny. I'm just testing out Android versus Apower Mirror, so I can see the back of my own head. Jesus. That's what it looks like. That's undeniably bald. It's time for a full topper. Doesn't matter about the cost. I mean, what's the point of having a hairpiece at all if you're not covering the bald spot? So I'm going to have to shave here. Using this setup. So I bought a bunch of things that will enable me to be able to attach everything to the mirror with suction cups, move it up and down. I spent a lot of time trying to figure this out, and tripods, it would have had to be a microphone stand so it's got the maximum maneuverability, but even then it doesn't swing around nicely. I tried to think of a way to do that, and before I gave myself a headache, thought about how I would attach it to the ceiling so it doesn't always get in the way and some big cumbersome thing every time I got to do my hair. The answer is simple. You've just got to attach the phone to the mirror and then have the iPad down on the sink, so you can see. Now it doesn't stretch out to the edges, so I don't know how to solve that. AirPlay does not work between an iPhone and an iPad. It does apparently work between an iPhone and a MacBook, because a MacBook has an AirPlay receiver, but neither the iPad nor the iPhone have a built-in AirPlay receiver. So this hairstyle is not a hairstyle, it is, I look like a goddamn joke. I've been walking around like this, but with a hat on, because I knew it was a fail. But I really do want the short sides, which means short back as well. I haven't figured out what the shape of the hairpiece would be, but it should finish there. And I guess that's the width of it. And I guess it gets wider as it comes to the front. My new perimeter will be something I'll mess with when it starts going there. I hope that nobody will ever notice that. It's going to be time for a new chapter. This is my third hour. Oh, just finished. That's 3 hours. Just walked 13.5 kilometers.
Hey, Roger.
Oh. Hey, Margaret. You look delightful.
Thanks, Roger. You look nice, too.
Yeah, I mean it. You look good enough to ease the pain in my tooth.
Oh, you need some help with your tooth?
Yeah. Why don't you take a look inside my mouth and see what the problem is?
Oh, okay. Open wide. I think I found the problem, Roger. I think that one of your teeth is got a cavity.
A cavity? But I brush my teeth every day.
Well, what kind of brush do you use?
Why, I use little pigs to clean out my gunk from the teeth that I have in my mouth.
Well, I don't know that cleaning your teeth with picks is good enough.
Did I say picks? Yeah, I meant picks.
No, picks are not good enough, Roger. You're gonna have to try a bit harder. Use a real toothbrush. Remember, kids, What are you doing, Roger?
Oh, I was just making sure that you saw exactly what the problem was in my mouth. Do you want to have a look inside again? It's really nice.
Okay, let me have another look. Pyoink!
Ah, what'd you do? I feel great.
I took your tooth out.
Ow. I feel funny. Why'd you do that for? I needed those teeth for eating things like
You needed them for eating what, Roger?
nothing. Just thank you. Whatever. Thanks a lot. I feel great. The pain's gone. End of story. Oh, by the way, Margaret,
Yeah?
do you feel like coming over to my place for dinner?
No, that's very kind of you. Would you like to have me for dinner?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's exactly what we're gonna enjoy together. A nice meal.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Thanks, Roger.
You're welcome. All right. See you tonight?
Yeah, see you tonight.
Okay. Sunset.
Sounds great. See you then. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for fixing my tooth.
Oh, what a nice guy.
There's a lot of mold up there. Today I walked. Where the fuck is the? See, this is the thing. I'm trying to return my Pixel 8 Pro. I've gone back to my iPhone 11. And when it comes to filming, the Pixel 8 Pro is better. But I can hold this little thing in my hand easily. Look. Okay, this is how I hold it. It's nice and easy. The Pixel 8 Pro is a pain in the ass to hold. It's massive. But I got a new case for it. Just arrived from America. I'm just staying here for a little while Airbnb gets involved. Well, my Airbnb guest stays at my apartment. This is kind of a suitable hairstyle if I could just get the top right. It's got to be a brush back look to work though, because if I brush it forward, this chunk just doesn't work with the shortness of this. I mean, this is really, really short. It's just important that the front hairline is perfect. Otherwise it can't work. This is my current hairpiece that I'm wearing. And this is the next size up that I drew a while ago. In my current situation, I can't see what I'm filming at the moment, but I really want to see the back of my own head. In fact, I'll try that now. So what I'm trying to see here is, I don't know why the light didn't come on. What I'm trying to see is the back of my own head, okay? This is Apower Mirror. So I'm able to look down at the bench here and see this. I'm trying to tap the touch screen. It's behind my head over there. I'm trying to touch the focusing button, right? So I can see more clearly on this screen what's going on. In terms of sunlit, I always envisage that the back of my neck is absolutely disgusting at all times. That hump is pretty disgusting. That's solid bone there, that's not just fat. Obviously that would be an unacceptable hairstyle, just not have anything, just to be like this. That's not acceptable. But I'm not happy with the way I look when I have a shaved head either. Though comparatively, it's not too bad in general if I was in shape compared to my current situation, which is just this thing, which is basically this just stuck to the front of my head. It really is useful to have a monitor like this so I can see. So let me just put this on. It's actually like magic. The glue is completely fucked. I need liposuction in my neck. Okay. So this is the questionable area. Right, so that looks, everything's awkward. That looks completely fake. Like it's not growing out of my head. It looks like a wig. I think naturally the best hairline would probably be about there. If I were to do it accurately. This really is useful to have the iPad and the iPhone together like this, using Apower Mirror App. I tried AirDroid Cast and it didn't allow me to press the record button on there. So I wouldn't be able to film with it. And also it was like about 2000 millisecond delay. This is like it seems like less than 100 millisecond lag between that and that. Like this is, I'm moving my hand. I don't know if it's so quick. The response time between that wirelessly transmitting, I don't know, it's been probably compressed at 720 or something. Apparently with the more expensive one, like this will stop beaming at 10 minutes, right? Because I've got the free version of Apower Mirror. I keep looking into what are the benefits of buying Apower Mirror. And they want you to do subscription, pay every year. I'm not gonna fucking do subscription and forget some app. This is a great app though. It's just, they haven't really made it for English speaking people properly. Like they haven't got a Westerner in charge of, otherwise they wouldn't call it Apower Mirror to start with. It's the worst name ever. Whereas AirDroid Cast, see, you still wouldn't use AirDroid for an Apple user either. Anyway. So both are just, the thing is, Apple should have integrated AirPlay between these two devices, but it hasn't. And they don't offer any explanation. And I've seen, you go into their apple.com, everyone's like, please tell me how to do AirPlay between iPhone and iPad. And the Apple people, after it's what seems like months of delays, if I'm looking at the date times to see what sort of mysterious dodginess is going on with the Apple staff, instead of like, I don't know, look over there. Oh, look at the different color iPhones we have. Like, no. Well, how do you beam with that mirroring button from the iPad to the iPhone to the iPad? And they said, I can't remember what it was some bullshit. The thing is, you can't do it because there's no AirPlay mirroring receiver or something. Some mirror receiver in either of these two things. They can only beam outwards. So from here to a MacBook, it'll work because the MacBook's got a receiver, and the iPhone can't receive either. So that can go from iPhone to MacBook, which has a receiver. But the iPad and the iPhone don't have whatever this receiver is that allows it to mirror. This is really useful to be able to see my own head like this. Okay, so by default, that's how I'm looking to people, right? And I wasn't aware of this until just now. This is fucking embarrassing. Fuck, I'm walking around like this. That's funny. God. I wonder if people don't respect me. That's blurry. Alright, so the point of this exercise is, does this look better than this? I'd say so far, yeah, the Hairpiece one is winning. If I were to shave it all off and have no sideburns and none of this stuff on the side, or if I were to just grow this out, even though it would be thin, a little more. But that is, no, I would have to really shave the rest of my head to make that work. And you can see that's very thin now. In fact, why am I trying to see sideways in the mirror when I can just look straight ahead and look at my reflection here? Although, here it is. "10 minutes are up. Upgrade to VIP to enjoy the unlimited time." My glasses are no longer working. Now they're too blurry. And these are the thickest ones, they're the thickest ones. My eyesight's degraded so fucking much in a small amount of time. It's really scary. Wow, that's bad. I'm gonna end up with glasses this fucking thick. Okay, so I didn't even shut down my iPad or my iPhone. The program was still running in the background. I just went and clicked the... Go sideways. Upside down. This chain. Whoa, trippy. So I haven't even got to the point. The point is this one versus this one. And then later on, if this... The unfortunate thing about the iPad is you have to hold it as you move around. See, I'm more than happy to have the camera fixed and the screen moving, which is the opposite how you expect usually. Usually the camera would move around, but usually when we're doing hair stuff, there's one light, right? I could put this screen down and use the phone to film the back of my head, right? The other way around, right? So now I've got the camera in my hand and I'm moving this around. But now I need this light. I want that light from the sun to illuminate the back of my head. But I need to see the screen, which is fixed over there, right? So while this is kind of useful to be moving the camera around, which is what we're all used to, because the camera is the thing we usually walk around with, blah, 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 right? And we come back in here and that's the screen, which is amazing. I fucking love Apower Mirror App, but I don't trust paying for it. Every 10 minutes you can just reset it. I want to support them, but everything they do looks absolutely fucking dodgy. All right? You might get locked into an infinite fucking drain your account for the rest of your life kind of deal. I don't know. I mean, you should support people who are charging money for stuff if they've gone a lot of effort, and this is, you know, if they're being ripped off, they could grow a business, even if they're the only company in the world that does something. Like, there's nobody who competes with these guys for this kind of thing that I've seen. Now, this doesn't stretch out fully to take up the full iPad. You can see it's just the iPhone sideways, right? I can't zoom in on this and make it full screen. So, for example, if I just want to worry about this. But but apparently in the full VIP version you can, but it's not made clear to you. There's no animation, there's no video that explains the difference between the free and the VIP, unless you want to watch a video where it just gives you check marks of the things you get. It doesn't display what happens, like there's no demo. Anyway, as it stands, I need two hands for all of this. I'm gonna put the camera and the video side by side. Alright, so this thing, I don't want to shave. In fact, I'd rather have the option of having a non-scooped out short haircut as a bald man, and then be able to just stick a hairpiece over if I want as well. But sticking glue on top of hair is fraught with trouble, as we've seen before, and scooping it out and ripping it out at the end. Even I use C22 and all that mess. It's a mess. But it is actually doable. But you've got to kind of just paste heaps of tons of glue, and you end up like you're waxing what good hair you might have in your head off. It's not great. You should probably just shave it. But then again, having glue seated down into the pores of your skin, you'd think that it would cause extra baldness over the years. But for me, this has been since 2011. I've been doing this. I've been pasting glue all over here. That was already very bald. I don't know how bald, probably there. I don't know. It was big enough, but it certainly wasn't where it is now. And this wasn't all thinned out. It's island. Now you could say it's the glue's fault. It's not. Otherwise, this, because I've been putting glue, smothering this area in glue 7 days a week for the past 14 years, and there's still hair growing there. Okay. So if you think that smothering and blocking pores up with like toxic glue or something is going to force the hairs to never grow back again, that hasn't been the result. As a human guinea pig, I can tell you, that's not what's happened. Alright. The reason I ask about keeping some of this hair on is because I don't know what I want to do yet. This is no longer doing it for me, right? Especially since I can depending on the lighting, this looks worse or not, right? I'm always paranoid about it. This spot right here. Because it's not happening here. That's thick. And you can see it there, right? When the sun hits it, you can see right into this gap. And it's not like there's a gaping hole. I mean, I don't look like Friar Tuck yet. But it's headed that way. And it's a question of density. I mean, look how dense this is. And that'll come up to that's in approximate position. Stay. It's just a measuring system, okay? Alright, for this one I think I need to hold. Oh, I need to lean forward. I need to lean forward over the sink. Okay, so it's going to go to there. No, I need to put the camera screen there and bring the camera. Right. This is awkward. Yeah, see? It's a question of density. This becomes really obvious when the rest of the hair is in position, doesn't it? Which warrants a full topper. Because I mean, unless I grow this, but I like it short. I like it short. But this can't be short if I wear a hairpiece anyways. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's a big commitment. I've just ordered 6 new hair pieces from Lord Hair. Great ordering process. And I realized how much customization you can do just from buying a standard stock piece. They do cut it for you and stuff. So in the future, I might get that done once I know what my stencil size or template size is. Yeah, I've been watching some other people's videos. Lord Hair has a few good ones, actually. New Times Hair has some good ones too. But it's usually the people, we the people, who have made the best ones. Because we're not bullshitting, we're telling you the actual truth about our experience. And we're the ones you can actually trust, because we're not I am affiliated with multiple companies now, because I'll send you a link or a coupon code or something, and sometimes if you click that link, I could get commission out of it because I've referred you. And if it wasn't for me, you might not have found their company. So that's how people like me can actually benefit a little bit from this. The 10-minute timer has gone off again. I guess given the amount of minutes we need to put hair on, 10 minutes is not enough. So unless you're happy to keep resetting this every 10 minutes, this is the thing that will make me pay, right? That pop up, because there's no, I'll try reconnect. Hey, if I wasn't recording right now, I'm pretty sure I could just do reconnect forever. Unless it was some sort of lockout, but yeah, I just, see, you just gotta click the button on both and then it sets it up. Anyway, I'm gonna have to choose one of these now to put on. I'll probably just choose this because I can't be bothered with all this right now. But yeah, this is a midway point. But like I showed you, that is right there, that's the reason for me to go full retard on this, right? But for now, I might do the midway point, but right now I won't. I'll just put some alcohol spray on this because I can't be bothered peeling it all off. Okay, now I'm just using the self-facing mirror, the self-facing camera. I thought there was something missing, having to use this all the time. It's useful, very useful, but just to be able to see myself at a glance. I'm using my iPhone 11, black dot's invisible to me, but it's easier to hold in my fingers using that method. Using this holding technique, which is not ideal, but it's what I've been doing for years. Anyway, I like to be able to see easily what I'm looking at, but unfortunately the dot is no good. I want to take my Pixel 8 Pro back. It dropped $600 within the week that I bought it. I'm gonna try to get a refund, but it's hard. I've got to prove the phone is faulty. It's got a lot of things that are faulty as far as I'm concerned, as an Apple user moving to Android. And also the facial recognition doesn't work and stuff, so I could say that as well on the list of things. But I've got to get a refund for that. That's that $2,000 I spent on that phone. $2,000, I can't afford that. It's a lot of money. I thought it was a big life change, so it might be worth it. I thought, the phone is the extension of your mind and organizes everything you do. And I do a lot of filming and stuff as well, so the Pixel 8 Pro is better for filming, admittedly. But that's all. The rest of the phone, in terms of usability, in terms of the interface, it's shit compared to Apple. And it's so faulty. But when I deleted everything and started over, all the faults seem to have gone away, unfortunately. And I wanted to show that to the store so I could get a refund. But, you know, anyway, I can't trust a phone that's going to be intermittently dodgy. Apple's got a lot of problems too in terms of the operating system. But I thought I was moving on to a Windows XP Gold style files and folders system with Android, but it's not. It's just an alternative shit. Consumer level, organize it the way it's decided, completely separate to file and folder structure. It's still the app thing where accessing the files for each thing is just as difficult as Apple. So it has no redeeming qualities at all. There's nothing better about Android, nothing. So I want to go back to Apple, iOS. And this phone is easier, lighter, and fits in my hand better. The other one's too clunky and I can't reach the fucking top buttons. Anyway, so how did I put this on my head? This is not this one, it's the small one that I had on before. I simply sprayed it with this and just smushed it down, but the glue tendrils have been flattened, so I'm just sticking that weakly to my head. A breeze is probably gonna fucking make this thing fall off. Well, it's not that weak, but it's pretty weak, okay? I'll be wearing a hat anyway because at the moment it doesn't blend in. Right? And back here there's a gap and so on. Like I didn't place it exact. That's the thing I'm worried about. When I put on a full topper and stuff, what'll the perimeter be like? I won't be able to monitor that with a front-facing mirror anymore. I'll need this Apower Mirror set up every time. So I don't know how you guys cope. I just have to keep it covered. And I've seen some of the videos where people are putting on full hairpieces, full ones, and they're putting tape around the edges, which seems logical given the difficulty of applying glue to all of this. But I'm seeing them putting like there are gaps. There's overhang, there's overhang and gaps going on throughout all of your hairpieces that you guys just cover because hair falls over the area. But having that flop around over your bio join where the perimeter is, it's unacceptable. I couldn't live like that. I'd have to do it all properly. What I would do is I'd put a camera here facing this way, then I'd put the iPad here, and I would lean forward over the sink and look down at the top of my own head like that, so I'd be able to see what I'm doing. Hey Mum, what are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out if I'm bald yet or not.
And we're using this
We're using
screen to screen so she can see
the screen so I can show
what's
Kiri.
happening here. Okay, but you're facing away from the sun, so you're gonna have to turn completely around.
Oh my God.
So just from the front, so wherever the sun is, that's where the light is.
Yes.
You understand how that works?
Got it.
Okay, now you just turn around, so I'll just keep the camera here.
Yeah.
And you turn around to see your own head. Just keep walking around in circles. Didn't you need your glasses on?
Not anymore.
Because you don't want to see too accurate. Okay, so this is where your hair is.
Oh God. I'll try and get. Yeah, I'll go and brush it and see if it makes a difference. Okay.
You could wear a wig. Turn around more. Keep
Look
turning.
at you right?
Well, just keep turning around as you wish.
Okay, I'm going to turn this off, or you turn yours off, and then I'll go and hairbrush it. Hang on, let me show what I do when I'm out, because it looks as though.
You know what you should do?
What?
Start writing equations.
What does that mean? Oh.
Physics equations. E equals mc squared, for example.
Don't you think it would be better if I just shaved it, sort of like had it just spiky up?
I mean,
Maybe not.
see, if I were you, because you do, the hair is so thin now,
Yeah.
but there's no chunks missing as you feared, right? It's uniformly thinned out.
Yeah.
right? There's no extra chunk missing from a certain spot or anything.
Well, what
But-
about that?
Like in through my eyes, it doesn't look as bad as I can see through the screen.
Oh, really?
It looks worse on the screen than real life. Because
Oh, does it?
yeah, at the moment it looks like somebody's just dug somebody up, right?
All right.
Play with the scarf in all the different manners. Take it off your head and put it on and try to get it how you feel would be best.
No, I think that would probably be best. That's how I used to have it.
But now this is covering the underside of your neck. Is that okay too?
Yeah?
Like when you're sitting at home? Does that feel stable and
I
sitting
wouldn't
watching?
have it at home, though.
Oh, you wouldn't? You'd
No.
just take it off completely at home?
Yeah.
Really?
I'd just be bored.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. This hairpiece is NQR. Short sides, short back, probably a bald spot that you might be able to see there. Long term, I'm going to get a full topper. But in the meantime, I feel like this shape, which is the only one I've got by the way, so I can't shave this area yet. I'm going to try to stick this down over that. And then I'll end up with this, which will give me some kind of semblance of a decent looking hairstyle. But there'll still be that bald patch on the back. But as you can see, it's not completely bald. I have ordered 6 new hair pieces from Lord Hair. I'll take you through all that when I get all the other bits and pieces, because with those ones, those 6, I may well fully create my first ever topper instead of using a front partial. And I don't know if this is considered a front partial anymore because I'm going all the way back to here, but at least, you know, I'll be able to see in a front facing mirror. When I get the other ones, I make a full topper, I will need to be able to see how, look at the back of my own head when I'm shaving it and preparing the hair. So I'm going to pre-glue this, but first I will prepare the scalp. I've been watching a few other people's hair videos recently, and there are a lot of very good ones. I've learned quite a lot. Lord Hair has a few good ones too. I've got to figure out how to make my glasses stay up there like that. You might think contact lenses would be the answer, but then how am I supposed to see the real world? Because the real world would be completely blurry if I wore reading glasses as contact lenses. In terms of making a mirror blurrier, by having some kind of lens over the glass of my mirror, I don't know if that technology exists at this point in history. And I wouldn't want to make a permanent glass anyway, unless it was, you know, unless the glass could come in and out for any user. Same with phone screens. I've experimented with blur effects on the computer screen to see if blur would help somebody with blurry vision see clearly, but it just adds to the blur. It doesn't go the opposite direction. I don't understand the principles in order to solve that problem. The only thing I can imagine would work would be some kind of cover over the phone or cover over the mirror. And as far as I understand optics, which I don't, you need bent glass. I don't know if you can digitally make things focus. Right, so for my own sanity, when I place that one on, I won't cut this off because I want to still be able to revert back to this if anything goes wrong. And besides, as you know, I don't have any more of those larger hair pieces. This is just one. I do have a stencil that I made to cut this again if I do like this one on my new hair pieces, but I don't have any hair pieces left. I only have a few small ones left. So to shave this out, which I can't do in this room because I'm touching the wall, and I mean I could use my phone and my iPad and use Apower Mirror. I'll make a video about that, how to use that. But as it stands, this room's too small, and with the lighting and the way it is in this house that I'm in at the moment, I don't have the facilities to shave the top of my own head in that pattern. And the other thing is, in terms of making the exact right shave zone, I get the feeling it's probably best if I glue down and have residual glue over the area that I want to shave, because that will mark the spot perfectly with messed up glue. Now I don't know how I'll shave into that. Maybe I'll just use an electric shaver to sort of trim in through the glues. It'll probably wreck the razor. I don't know. So my thought today is just glue all this down over the top. That will lessen the hold. Now, of course, putting a hairpiece over the top of hair makes the see-through aspect, the transparency, not work, right? So people will see plastic if they see the side and back of my head there, because there'll be hair coming through from the base. I'm hoping this density is thick enough that it will be disguised and people won't notice. I'm going to the movies with some people today and also spending some time at my friend's house. As far as I know, he doesn't know that I wear a hairpiece, but seeing plastic through that, I don't know what would happen. He's the sort of person I could tell. He wouldn't care. It'd be interesting to him, I'm sure. But with this current style, he's seen me a few times like this. And he's probably wondering what the fuck has happened to his head. Right. But yeah, going forward, I don't even know that this one has had its front roots bleached. It looks like it hasn't, which means all the problems I keep talking about with unbleached roots are going to be a problem with this one. So that'll be a good test. Also, it looks like there's probably some exposed base around the front lip here still, which I'll have to cut off. But I'm still going to do it. Let me go pre-glue this. Okay, so like I said, I've shaved it. It's dried. I've pre-glued this. I'm going to have to push this forward so it's not a big lump. And let's just do it. I need to wet this. I need a brush. Okay, so I'm going to put my hold at the temple there, at this temple here. I can't see shit because the phone's in the way. So far it's more difficult than usual. Just feeling back here to see if I can feel if it's centered. Okay, I'm going to try to give myself a haircut. I feel the pinch of hair is being pulled on my head. I guess that's because it's been glued onto my hair. I don't know what length to do here. Look at that. Maybe I swarbled the hairpiece with glue all over my actual hair back there, and there are bits of tiny hair that have glue in them, because it's really ripping at my hairs back here. It really hurts. Like having your hair pulled. I really hope it's in the right position, because I don't know how I'll fix it if it's not. It hurts. So far it seems like it's in a good position. Listen to the noise it makes on the front, no noise, and on the plastic where it's touching over the hairs. Wow, that's so much nicer to not have to deal with that corner problem. To have it come round. As I do that, it's my fingers going underneath the hairpiece. It's not great. But over the next few days, the heat will melt the glue down, maybe onto the hair, and give me a good indication of where the shave zone is supposed to be, without me having to measure anything. Wow, that's just... I can really get my thumbs in under there. That's not good. But I was hoping we'd have more stick down onto the hairs. I got no visibility. I just have to let it be there like that. Wow, jet black almost. That's what it looks like without a bleached hairline. Can you tell me why that's ripping my hands? Can you see? Because if you can't see, then nobody will see. I mean, I certainly can't. Okay. Maybe I can go back and then make front curtains. Usually suits me the best. Okay. How's that? Big bald spot on the back of my head? So next time, obviously, that has to all be bleached properly. And that excess should have been cut off. And especially all that shit. Yeah, it's horrible. There's no way I can reveal the hairline. Monkey, look at me. Monkey, look at me. It's gonna be okay, monkey. Hey, it's all right. Hold him down. Quacky, you can watch. Monkey, we're just gonna give you a mouth transplant, okay? Hey, monkey, what do you think of your new mouth? Ah! Quacky, what do you think? Quacky? Quacky? Yeah, he's okay. Thank you. Thank you. So I wore this out with some people and everyone was just staring at it. I don't know. This lighting's not great, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna give myself a haircut. It's too long. This part here, where I tried to glue it down onto my hairs, I can feel it's all just, you know, I had that long bit of hair tuft along here, that's all just stuck and blocking the glue from doing anything. So imagining that this might leave a residual glue line where I can tell where to shave it out in the future. I don't know that I'll ever use this stencil shape again. I get the feeling that the thick, dense part of this hairpiece meets right up with the bald patch here. I'd have to look back at this footage, and I never do, so. In terms of that whole, what's it called, where I look at this, the phone screen and I see it on the iPad, that's not instantly practical unless it's all ready to go. In a bathroom, you walk in, you just want to see the back of your head. You need some sort of just handheld mirror just to quickly check. And you wouldn't hold the handheld mirror, you'd look into the handheld mirror and see the reflection of the big mirror. That's the fastest, best way to do it. Obviously, you can't use your hand to hold a mirror while you're working on your hair. You need some way to have that mirror hovering there in midair for you. So I might go back to the microphone stand idea when I get back to my apartment. At the moment, I've got a lot of packing up to do. So I've got to move house now. It's just after midnight. Wednesday the 19th of June 2024. I'm supposed to be up by 15 minutes ago. I've got an audition, self-tape. I've got to send it through. I've got to read a script. Fucking bullshit. And they want to see the back and sides of my head. That never happens. So embarrassing. This is not the final hairpiece. It's just weird how it goes up like that, isn't it? Anyway, need to audition now. Since wearing this hairpiece, this one which is a midway, based on the bad haircut and everything else, I mean, I've never had more people staring at it. Obviously, I've just removed the glue, but the glue through up my hair, which I had to rip off this thing, now it has to be removed, because that's a problem. It's just all matted. I knew from past experiences that you're not supposed to glue onto your hair. This is C22 solvent. So I'm going to douse it, douse the glue in this stuff, and then eventually I'll comb it out, I guess. That probably does indicate. I mean, I think I could shave that out and wear this and cut it better. This is actually the proper front. Like the way I was wearing it is supposed to be the front of the hairpiece. But I found people's eyes were drawn to the front hairline a lot. Along with, they were having a conversation with me and they'd always be doing this. Like that, they were always looking. That's never happened before. And like I've said, many friends and family members didn't even know I wore a hairpiece. When I was depressed and thought, fuck it, I'll just tell people. I didn't tell everyone, I just told a few individuals over the years, many years. I'm not getting any hot water, that's not good. Oh my god, it's just the weather's so cold. The pipes are almost, well, they don't freeze here in Melbourne, but I can't imagine living in a city where the pipes actually freeze and you can't have access to water. That would suck. What happens there? Do they have to put heating coils around all the pipes? From the furnace to the... You know there are hot water units you can put on the wall, which just basically take water and make the water immediately hot. But if the cold water from the system under the ground can't even get to the pipes, then it can't happen. I guess it might heat down along the line a little bit, but yeah, that would be a problem. I've never had to experience that. That seems like a third world problem. If you have pipes that freeze, that seems third world at this point in history. Like even if you had a well with your own water supply, that could potentially freeze as well. And what do you do? Chipping away at the ice and then putting it under your armpit or something so you could have a drink? I don't know. Right, so I bought a whole bunch of new accessories and things for my new full hairpiece, which I'm intending to do. But yeah, this one, wearing it at the front the way I was, the unbleached knots were absolutely vividly doll hair-like. So I will continue to use bleach. This stuff, peroxide, on the front hairline of all my hairpieces if I can't get custom pieces made where that's already pre-bleached. And in terms of poly, over a large period, it was pretty sweaty under there and it was getting itchy. It never gets itchy along here, normally with my hairpiece, but this up here with the irritation caused up here with this glue on this stuff, that was getting itchy. This may get pretty painful. I don't even know if this is going to come out nicely or not. I don't want to get my hands dirty. It's gross. So what I'm going to do today, because I probably do need to go out into the world and face humanity, is I'm going to just revert back to my old leaf shape. But first I need to get this shit out. I need a lot more of this. I guess I should start at the edges. Just use my fingernails to scratch it out. This is why we can't glue hair pieces to hair, unfortunately. It's not only that, but also you can see up where it connects. It's not a flat transition from the scalp to the hairpiece. So anyone looking at your hair, they would see it resting on stubble or whatever else. I mean, that's all right to have a little bit of stubble, but to have a short haircut and try to glue hairpiece onto it, it can't happen, because otherwise this happens. It's also interesting to see that yellow, the glue's gone yellow. That wasn't really even touching my scalp, so it's not because of any bacteria from my scalp. It simply probably just discolors from the air or something. I always figured it was because of bacteria, but it's not. Because that was not encased. There was always airflow under there. That doesn't mean it wasn't bacteria, it just means that I don't think my scalp was responsible for making it yellow. What I think it is when things go yellow, usually in your armpits and stuff with white t-shirts or whatever, I think it's the piss from bacteria. That's right, isn't it? The bacteria don't just die and that's the colour of their bodies. I'm pretty sure they eat you. They eat your dead skin cells or whatever, and they shit or piss out yellow mess, which is what this is. I thought. But like I say, this wasn't pressed up against my scalp very much. So yeah, pretty much the whole time I was wearing this, there was always little bits of hair being pulled. Like, imagine getting your hair pulled, it hurts. That's why you just glue to your scalp. You shave the shave zone, and then you glue on the hairpiece onto your raw scalp, not onto your hairs. Got to catch the chunks so they don't go down the sink and block the drain. At least help me by getting the hairs all at least facing forward in the right direction so I can brush, because they're matted in all directions back there at the moment. Be a lot easier to just cut that out. Yeah, it looks like I've been ripping hairs out of my head. Oh yes, that's good progress. Nice to get that chunk out. This hurts. You really don't want to do this, man. This is not... Don't glue your hair. Do not glue your hair. Look at all the real hairs that just come out here. I'm waxing my freaking head. It's interesting that hair wearers don't typically wax their shave zone because they've still got hope, don't they, that one day the technology will improve and we'll be able to use those remaining hairs. Also, you know, if you ever decide to not wear a hairpiece anymore, you don't want waxed parts of your scalp preventing, because we think that, you know, waxing causes permanent hair loss, and it can. Shaving is just chopping the tops off, and they continue to grow unless the, what is it, THT or something that causes baldness, in male pattern baldness. I don't remember the. Yeah, I'm not a doctor. Doesn't matter if I'm not a doctor, I just don't know the answer to the question. I wouldn't have to be a doctor to know how things work if I looked it up and read it and memorized it properly. I could say it with words. But last night I invented a new emotional graph of my life. Starting in 1977 when I was born, all the way up to 2024, present day. Heading up to 2027 when I'll be 50. And my mother and I are going to go and see a shrink together. And this will be very helpful to communicate my scale of happiness and filled with love at the top, which is green, down to devastated, which is the end of the typical range of emotions. all the way down below that to the catastrophic range of emotions, from soul snap, mind snap, helpless, last breath, and new normal, all hope lost. And it's all color coded, so it's easy to see your entire map of your life. Mine's gone, because I always expected to get back up to happy, full of love. But I don't know how to do that. Not all my dad's walking free anyway. Could happen potentially if there was closure, but he's withheld it and gone off and had a happy life for himself with his witch. And interesting, I just found out just through the grapevine that my stepbrother's about to have a baby. He always said he wouldn't have one. And he cited me as the reason, because he doesn't want the child to end up like me, he said. Apparently it's a girl. But I told you, I'm beyond numb on that graph. Numb was up there before. My mum's been diagnosed with leukemia, and it's hard to even register in my mind what's going on. I go through the motions. And whatever's left of my soul looks out through the long tunnels of darkness at the world. But it's hard to conceive anything, being trapped down here. There were key moments in my life when I screamed. I said, if you don't do something now, my mind's going to snap. And they didn't do anything, and my mind snapped, and I got fucked up. Often at the edge of cliffs, locked away by the police in handcuffs. In psych wards with other crazies. They were pretty fun places, apart from being locked away. Also, under the right circumstances, you're forced to go to bed at a regular hour and everything else. Because it is a bit like a prison. It's just that it's not filled with violent nutters, really. Because if you do become that way, you get to go to the solitary or whatever it is for misbehaving. Yeah, it wasn't that violent in there. It was just people with far-fetched theories a lot of the time, or sometimes people talking to themselves or whatever. It wasn't that much screaming or anything else. It's the nut house. I've been locked away about 3 times. One time I even went in there voluntarily. And then when I tried to leave, that was a bit harder. But as far as psychologists, psychiatrists, all that stuff, psychiatrists are actually able to give you medication, prescribe medication. But I've been misdiagnosed with schizophrenia and all sorts of things. Then they went, no, you haven't got schizophrenia. That's after 4 years of antipsychotics, which fucking destroyed my memory, short-term memory, and made me obese after I had a six-pack and everything all my life. Then went bipolar, then Asperger's, a bunch of other things. I was just put on lots of medications. And I was just drooling, going, okay, which ones do I take? That's my life. Now I'm just a baldy, which is much worse. Alright, let's see how much hair I've got left on my head after that. Yeah, This one is going to have to wait. In fact, I don't know if it'll ever have a place in my library, though it is probably going to be the halfway mark when I'm scared to do all of that, because I am sort of half intending to do all of that with the 6 new pieces I've just ordered. But I don't know how hard it'll be, and I don't know how much glue I need, and I don't know whether or not I should put some sort of cross in the middle and have ventilation with lace in the between so that my head can breathe. I don't know any of these things. I've always worn a front partial and that's it. Don't flush these. They will not flush. They will block this. They will block the system. Put them in a bin. Seems like there's no glue at all. That'll do for now. Storage. One of the interesting things about that last piece was that it made me realize how okay my current piece is. Even though I don't like this blob at the front, it's still something that people haven't detected over the years. And even though I just plopped it on without any proper adhesion, it's still better than usual. So I'm having second thoughts about getting a full piece. It's always hard to match the back and sides, and it's a hassle. I'll still try to figure out how to do it if I want to with the equipment. I bought some stuff, so this way. So in conclusion, for the wearing of a midway piece, I feel the reason that it doesn't work is because the hairs for a piece such as this small front partial that I'm wearing, the bio hair, I can grow it and it naturally wants to grow forward. At this midpoint back here, the lump is too weird. And until this grows back longer, which will remove the short back and sides, but I could still grow some hair after the curve of the skull. I could grow some there to be placed over that weird head piece that I had before. That's possible. In terms of having a full topper, I mean, I've done everything I can to accommodate what could about to be happening with me doing that. By the way, you can get a free hair system, by the way. This is my new 6-pack I just got from What Hair. You can get a free hair system by making a long video of you putting your hair on your head. I'm sure you can only do it once. Here you go. You get 50% off. Oh. If you just send a before and after photo for them to publish, right? Sorry, no, $50 off. $100 off. If you send them a short video, and a free hair system if you send them a full long video talking about your hairpiece. You would have to publish yourself. That's something to consider. I don't think you can just do it over and over and get constant free hairpieces. But that's a pretty good offer, huh? This is hard. Right. This basically gives you instructions on how to put your hairpiece on and how to maintain it. That's pretty good. Okay. So we've got 6 new hairpieces. My consideration has been absolutely to use these to make full toppers. But it could be possible that I don't do that and I just continue doing what I'm doing based on how I think this kind of is working now. My main problem has been the wiry greys, which is why I did the midpoint one, which didn't work with this really short hairstyle. But as it stands right now, it seems to be okay, just because it's been flattened, probably because I've been wearing a virtual reality mask while I've been editing this video. And as this hair grows a bit longer, it might be okay to just continue doing what I'm doing. And it will be a lot less stress. In my next video, which I'm excited to be making for you, I'll be telling you how to see the back of your head more clearly by looking into a mirror like this and then easily seeing the back of your own head, which I can right now. Now, when I analyze what I'm looking at here, that looks like a massive bald spot on the back of my head, right? But I think it might be just the lighting. Then again, it might not. But yeah, I will tell you what to buy to set this up. I'll also tell you how to deal with using an iPad or a tablet to see the back of your own head. At the moment, I've been using this stuff, but I am in the process of figuring out how to stick on something more permanent like this to the mirror, something more stable that has a bend to it and so on. This was actually something I was thinking about attaching to the microphone stand. Obviously camera stands do not work for this purpose. I will send you the links in the next video I make, along with some other products, including a 6-pack of poly hairpieces.